Hey guys, I'm here today to give you some more instructions, some strategies for math. Today we're going to be talking about long division. This is just a way that you can take a large number and you can break that down into equal groups. So we have, I guess you can call it an acronym or just some steps that we're going to follow to make sure that we're doing this correctly and come out with the correct answer.
Charlie Valentine, if you're in the building, please call me up.
Okay, it looks like I'm still going, I'm hoping. Anyway, we're going to be doing some steps. The steps are dividing, multiply, subtract, bring down, and then we're going to repeat our work until we're done with the problem completely. Okay, so what we have, our first problem is going to be a simple problem. I'm going to put down 24, which is our dividend, and I'm going to divide this by 8, which is our divisor. There's a step that I want you to make sure that you try and ask yourself each time you're dividing a number. And you're going to look at this very first number here, which is your divisor, and you're going to compare it to the first digit in your dividend, okay? And you're going to ask yourself this question. The question is this: can the divisor go into your first digit? So in this case, can my 8 go into my 2? Can I get 8 groups out of 2 pieces? And the answer is no. So I want to make sure that I put a placeholder there so I'm not putting digits that are in the number in the quotient in the wrong place. So if 8 cannot go into 2, I'm going to put a 0 on the top to ensure that I save that as a placeholder. Then I go to the next question. I say again, can the divisor go into my 2 digits together? So now I'm looking at this divisor again, looking at both numbers that are next. Can 8 go into 24? Yes, it can. How many times can my 8 go into the 24? This time I know that 8 can go into 24 3 times. What does that mean? That means if I take this number of 24, I can make 3 equal groups of 8. There would be 3 groups, and each group will have 8 pieces in it. So the first step was to divide. 24 divided by 8 is 3. Now I take the next step, which is to multiply. Remember that we have our steps. We have divide, we have multiply, subtract, bring down. So our next step is to multiply. I multiply the 8 and I multiply the 3. 8 times 3 is 24, so I write my 24 right underneath my other 24. Let me make a little quick change so we're not getting confused at what this looks like as you're actually working. 8 times 3 is 24. So that's the multiplying part. The next part is I need to subtract. Okay? So if I go back and I subtract, there it is. 24 minus 24 is 0. So in this case, I have no remainder. 8 is bigger than the 0. There's no more numbers to bring down, so my answer is just going to be 3. So in this case, all we're doing is just a simple single whole digit. Okay, I'm going to go to the next page. So let's look at another number. The other number I want to look at then is going to be, we'll say 793 divided by 5. 793 divided by 5. So again, the first question was, how can my divisor go into the first digit of our number? Okay, so if it can, then we're going to ask that question. Can 5 go into 7? Yes, it can. How many times? I can make at least one group of 5 out of that. So now the next step was to multiply. 5 times 1 is 5. I write that underneath the number that I'm working with. And then I put subtraction, because that's my next step too, is now I subtract 7 and I subtract the 5. So 5 from 7 is how much? It brings a 2. Okay, so now I've done the first 3 steps. I've divided, I've multiplied, and I've subtracted. The next step after that, though, is that we're going to now bring down the next number. Only one. So I bring down my next number, and I'm going to put a 9. I like to use these arrows because it reminds me that I brought that number down. I don't need to bring it down again. Okay. Now I ask again, can 5 go into 29? If 5 can go into 29, how many times? It can go into it 5 times. Okay. I kind of wrote this really big. So I don't know if I'm gonna have room to do all this, but 5 times 5, which is the next step of multiplying, is 25. And I minus that out, that's the next step. What is remaining? 24, or excuse me, 4. So let's put that 29 that was up here down there, and we minus the 25. Okay, that gave me a remainder of 4. Okay, so now I go to the next step again. I bring down. If I bring down, I'm going to bring it down all the way next to that 4. Okay, so the 4 gets a 3 next to it now. And I ask myself again, can 5 go into 43? Yes, 5 can go into 43. How many times? It's going to go into it 8 times. Okay, so 5 times 8 is the next step is 40. So I minus 40. 43 minus 40 leaves me 3. Now, in this case, I have no more numbers to bring down. That's the next step. If I have a number to bring down, I would bring that down, but I have no more. And 8 or 5 is bigger than the 3. So 5 cannot go into 3. So what we have here is we have an answer of 158 wholes with a remainder of 3. I can make 158 groups of 5 equal numbers, but I have one group that's going to have just 3 left over. It's not a full group. So that will be long division. We're going to do one more problem. I'll try to make sure it's all in one thing this time. So this time, okay, we're just going to go 235 divided by, let's just say 15. Okay, this time I multiply by 2 digits in the divisor. So again, we're going to ask the same question. Step 1, divide. Can my 15 go into the 2? Obviously it cannot. So I'm going to still put that placeholder up there. Can 15 go into 23? Yes. I can go into my 23 one time. Then I multiply. 15 times 1 is 15. So I minus, which is the next step, the 15. 23 minus 15. If I do my correct borrowing, 5 cannot come from 3, so I have to borrow from next door. I bring a whole 10 over to the 13, to the 10 to make it 13. And now I have 13 minus 5 is going to be 8. Okay, once I've done my subtraction, now I do my next step again. And that's to bring down. I bring down my 5. Can 15 go into 85? How many times can I do it? If I'm not sure, we can always multiply 15. We'll start with a small number. 3 is 45. Okay, I can add another one. If I add 3 more, that'd be too much. So if I add 15, then I'm looking at 60. If I add 15 again, I'm looking at 85. How many times did I use this 15? I used it 3 times there, then 4, 5. So 15 times 5 is going to equal 85. Oh, that's 75. Thank you. That's actually wrong. So we did this one wrong. Shoot, this is right on the regular video too. So I'm going to go plus 15, which is actually 75. Okay, so that's about as far as I can go with that because it'll be too much, it'll be 90. So I'm actually going to go 3, 4, 5, and that's still going to be 75, not 85. So I'm going to minus 75, and that gives me 10. I have no more numbers to bring down, and 15 is greater than 10. So my total answer is going to be 15 wholes, and I was able to come up with a remainder of 10. Okay, hopefully that helps out a little bit as far as some of the steps. Remember that we're going to divide, we're going to then multiply, we subtract those numbers, and then we go ahead and bring down. After you do that bring down, you go right back up and you start over again. That's where the repeat comes in. So I'm going to give you one problem for yourself. Go ahead and work on it. Let's see what you can do. 178 divided by 2. Okay? See if you can work that problem out and go back and double check yourself on the process. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.